guys, welcome back to Iron's Vegan Vida. My name is Iram and today I wanted to show you guys one of my absolute favorite recipes growing up, and that is sopes. I grew up eating sopes maybe like once a week as a kid. My mom still makes them very often. This dish is actually one of the first dishes I veganized early on into my vegan journey, probably like the first or second month of being vegan, because the only thing that really veganizes sopes is switching out the meat for a plant-based alternative. This can be veggies, this can be a mock meat, this can be soya. You can top it with my asada recipe, my pastor recipe. You could do so much and the options are really endless. I tried to stick to my mom's authentic recipe as close as I could, but I did add a little vegan twist to it, as I always do with my recipes. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Okay friends, so to begin this recipe, I'm going to show you how to make the jugo for the sopes. I use 4 Roma tomatoes, 1 raw garlic clove, and for spices, I use 1/4 teaspoon of some oregano, 1.5 teaspoon of some salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/8 teaspoon of cumin. And then I'm also adding in an extra 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. I'm going to throw all those ingredients into my blender alongside 1.5 cups of water and blend until smooth. This jugo or sauce is gonna be our topping at the end. Once the sauce is blended, I added in that remaining oregano as a topping and stirred it right in. Since I blended the ingredients from raw, I bring the sauce to a boil, then to a simmer so the flavors could develop and just cook it in general. Ideally, you want the sauce to be hot when you serve the sopes, so you can wait to boil it then or reheat it when serving. Now for the homemade sopes, you will need MASECA of your choice. This brand is my absolute favorite. I literally just discovered it like last year, but any brand works. Making the sope mix is similar to making tortillas. You will also need hot water to mix in with the tortilla mix. To a large bowl, I added in 4 cups of the MASECA, and then to that I added in 4.5 cups of some hot water. Feel free to add this in gradually. I do measure all my recipe for you guys for accurate measure, but as my mom would say, no más tanteale, which means to just eyeball it. I use a spatula to first mix in the water and the MASECA together. Honestly, I do this because it helps keep my hands a little cleaner, but you can definitely use your hands straight away. Once most of the mixture is mixed, I do go in with my hands to ensure that everything is mixed well. There's no clumps, it's not dry, and it's not too wet. To make the sopes, you can hand make them by rolling a ball and then shaping them with your hand by patting your hands together, but there is alternatives. I personally use a cookie scooper. This ensures that all my sopes are the same size. Is this necessary? Again, no, but this is what I like to do. I then roll all them up into a ball with my hand. I made 18 sopes, but this all depends on how small or big you make them. If you want a smaller serving, feel free to half this recipe. Mom makes them using her tortilla maker, and that's definitely the most convenient way. I placed the ball of masa in the center of the torteadora lined with a plastic bag to prevent any sticking. The sope should look like this, and then I carefully remove it from the plastic and transfer it to my non-stick comal that's already on high heat. I cook every sope until they unstick on their own, maybe like 1 to 2 minutes, and then just flip them. It's okay if they get some color. They technically are undercooked in the middle, but I will be deep frying them later. I just par cook them on the comal to help form the well that I'll be showing you how to do in a bit. Par cooking them also helps them not absorb as much oil when frying. Be careful as you flip them. Try to multitask, but definitely keep an eye on them. They will only need to be flipped once. Once you remove them from the comal, you will need to pinch the well almost immediately. If they cool down, it will be harder to form them. I like to take my thumbs and index finger and pinch the sope from the middle to the top, and this will form the well to hold all our ingredients later. This will be super hot, so be careful. So I will show you guys another alternative to prevent burning in a bit. They should look like this, and they don't have to be perfect. They will all be unique, so honestly, just have fun with it. As I mentioned earlier, there is an alternative to burning yourself. You can use a paper towel or a kitchen towel to help you form the sopes. The towel as a barrier will help reduce the hotness of the fresh sopes. Just form them like so, and there you go. They're easier than you think. Of course, you can buy store-bought pre-made sopes, but I promise you that homemade tastes all that better, and they are so fun to make and worth it. For my meat, I will be using some vegan ground beef by Impossible. Growing up, my mom only made ground beef sopes, so these are nostalgic to me, so I had to make them. I added in a pack of Impossible and seasoned it with half a tablespoon of some garlic salt, and then I just sauteed it until brown. I set it aside for later usage. To fry the sopes, I added in some vegetable oil and then I waited for the oil to heat up. I like to test my oil with the sope, and if I see a sizzle, I drop them right in. Make sure to scoop some oil on top too for even cooking. I cook my sopes until golden brown. They will be crispy and delicious. Off camera, I set up a bowl with paper towels to soak up any oil when I remove them from the heat. This might take like maybe 3, 4 to 5 minutes. I wanted to mention that I have air fried sopes before. I sprayed them with some oil and air fried them until crispy. It is a good alternative, but frying them tastes way more authentic and they are overall better. So I definitely recommend it 100%. So this is what they look like, so golden and crispy. Now for some toppings, I like to top my sopes with green cabbage, but you can also use lettuce. I personally love adding tomato slices on top of each sope. And of course, I serve up sliced radish on the side. Off camera, I made refried beans. I do have a recipe on my channel now. I will link it in the description, but you can definitely use canned beans as well. But again, it won't taste the same, but if canned beans are not an issue for you, definitely go for it. Alright guys, so now let's go over all the ingredients. The homemade sopes, the refried beans. I also added in some pickled red onions that I had made earlier that week. My mom has never added this, but I added them because I don't know, just because. And they honestly did add such a great flavor. And for one of my meats, I actually made vegan tinga. So I will be having a tinga recipe on my channel soon if you guys are interested. And then some tomatoes, some cabbage, some radishes. And I'm also adding some cheese on top. I do have a queso fresco recipe on my channel. I will link it down below. But for a shortcut, I use this follow your heart feta that surprisingly reminds me so much of queso seco. Another meat topping I'm adding today is some oyster mushrooms. I just sauteed them with some seasoning salt. I had them in my fridge and I wanted to show you guys some variation of toppings. And then the tomato sauce that we made earlier, just make sure you warm it up right before plating. Another topping my mom doesn't add but I personally love is sour cream. This is cashew sour cream. I have a recipe on my channel. Again, I will link it in the description. And here's some of the sauteed Impossible from earlier that I will be using as well for a topping. Alright, so now to assemble my sopes, I start off by spreading some beans. I like mine with lots of beans. And then you add your meat or your meats. And to that, I added the shredded cabbage. Pour some of the jugo on top. The well should keep it from dripping over, but if it does, it's okay. My mom actually personally drowns her sopes in juice because she says el jugo es el sabor. I added in some sour cream drizzle, some sliced tomato, some vegan cheese, and some of the pickled onions, and that's it. I like to serve mine with sliced radishes, and then when I actually sit down and eat my sopes, I like to top them with some Valentina or Tapatio. I'm saying Tapatio just to give you guys the option, but definitely with Valentina. This is debatable, but Valentina is definitely 100% better than Tapatio. I don't know, fight me. Just kidding. And there you guys have it. I hope you guys learned something and really enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for all the love. So many exciting recipes coming soon. Be sure to check out my Instagram and my TikTok. They are both under Irems Vegan Vida. Bye!